All right, I just finished watching the Luther Vandross documentary, Never Too Much. It was amazing. It was so well done. So well done. I watch a lot of documentaries. I don't think very few people have watched more documentaries than me. And this one was it was up there. It was so well done. So well done. I mean, the music, it just takes you back to such a time we'll never get again, when music was real music, when people were really writing songs about heartfelt songs and whole heartfelt albums, not just a single, an entire album. When I was growing up, you could put an album on and let the whole album play. Every single track was amazing. Imagine growing up listening to Stevie Wonder albums beginning to end, Whitney Houston albums beginning to end, Luther Vandross, Anita Baker. You did not skip a track. The Spinners, the Whispers, the OJs, everybody out of Philadelphia, Gamble and Huff, the Supreme. You did not skip a track. People did not give you garbage. They wouldn't, I mean, it was just amazing. Some of the stuff, they used to have this thing called the B-side. There was hits on the B-side that would beat most people's A-sides today. And that's the kind of music we're accustomed to. So just watching the Luther Vandross documentary, it just took you back to a time gone by, a time we'll never see again. Two parts of the documentary broke me down. It was when he got to the part about his love life. And I really believe, had Luther found the love of his life, he would have been public with this person. You know, when you listen to the lyrics of a song like Any Love, that's the feeling you get. You know, I'm gonna read the lyrics. I speak to myself sometimes and I say, oh my, in a lot of ways, you're a lucky guy. And now all you need is a chance to try any love. In my heart, there's a need to shout, dying, screaming, crying, let me out, are all those feelings that want to touch any love. What a world for the lonely guy. Sometimes I feel I'm going to lose my mind. Can anybody tell me just where to find any love? Everyone needs a love, no doubt, any love. Everybody feels alone without any love. I know there's a love waiting to enter my life, to enter my life. Every day as I live, I try to think positive. I pray for someone good to come, any love. Love is sweet and so divine, and I can't wait for my love life to shine. See, it's the shine part that let me know that man, had he found his person, he would have been out with that person. That's what the word shine means. Shine doesn't mean dim. Can anybody tell me where I can find any love? Everyone needs a love, no doubt, any love. Everyone feels alone without any love. And I know there's someone waiting for me to enter my life, to come into my life. Suddenly, out of the clear blue sky, lonely tears start to fill my eyes. I can weep, but I refuse to cry. I've got to keep holding on. I've got to be very strong to keep holding on. Then it goes back to the chorus. Luther talked in that documentary about how he was an emotional eater and food. Basically, he didn't say this, but I'm saying this, food was his lover. That's why his weight would go up and down, up and down. His emotions were tied to his eating. And he just needed any love. He wanted what everybody else wants. You know, everybody wants someone to love, someone to call their person, someone to be there for them, and that they can be there for. And that's what he's saying. He had everything but that. And when you see that part of the documentary, that really touches at your heartstrings. The second part that broke me down was when he got to the song Dance With My Father. That if you haven't seen the documentary already, that was special. That was special. Dance With My Father. But it was some other interesting parts of the documentary. Woo! For whatever reason, folks was hot with Patti LaBelle. What people have to understand, especially Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials, they grew up differently than a lot of us that are older. We grew up with big mamas and extreme elders and people who didn't really spare your feelings when they had a message for you because they felt like you needed to hear this, however it came out. And a lot of times, hey, it ain't come out too well, but you got the message. And there's the extreme elders. If you ask them a question, you're going to get the truth. Do not ask an extreme elder a question that you don't want the answer to. And for me, extreme elders are people 80 and up. I put them, that's Patti LaBelle, Sissy Houston, the late great Sissy Houston. Don't ask Sissy a question, because Sissy gonna tell you. And just case in point, Oprah Winfrey asked Sissy Houston about Whitney's relationship with Robin. This was after Whitney had passed away, and Sissy answered it.
You say, I knew I didn't want Robin around my daughter, and I told Nippy that. There wasn't much I could do, though. Nippy liked Robin. She was past the age when I could forbid her from seeing someone. Kids have a mind of their own when they get older. They want to experiment with all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was more than that.
That was it.
And that was it. But you do say that you do know that they cared deeply for each other.
I think so. They were very good friends.
Would it have bothered you if your daughter, Whitney, was gay?
Absolutely.
It would have bothered you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You would not have liked that?
Not at all.
Not at all. You wouldn't have condoned it or...
No.
No.
Some people couldn't take Sissy's frankness, but those of us who grew up with the extreme elders, that was just a Tuesday for us. You ask Sissy a question, you're going to get the truth. You ask Patti a question, you're going to get the truth. Extreme elders don't say no comment. So Patti was asked a question by Andy Cohen about why Luther didn't publicly come out. First of all, it's a lot of people who never publicly come out. So I don't even understand why that's strange. And for a wide variety of reasons, it's their personal business. But Patti answered the question. And a lot of people got upset that she answered the question. At the end of the day, we have to understand Patti and Luther were best friends. Patti is an ally to the gay community. Luther used to back her up. He was one of her backup singers. They spent almost 3 decades together as very good friends. Patti was good friends with his mom, took care of her after Luther passed, sang at Luther's funeral. This is not a Luther enemy. And she answered the question.
Did he struggle with the idea of coming out publicly? Was that something that you talked about at all?
But he wasn't going to come out and say this to the world. And he had a lot of lady fans, and he told me that he just didn't want to upset the world.
First of all, she answered the question everybody already knew the answer to. Nobody heard that Luther was gay and was shocked. Nobody grabbed their pearls and was like, really? She answered a question everybody already knew the answer to. So she wasn't outing him. So, I don't even understand why the vitriol. I guess if somebody like, well, he never said it, so she don't need to say it. But she wasn't saying it maliciously. She simply answered a question. And if you had any gaydar, meaning if a gaydar goes from 0 to 100, if your gaydar was on 1, you already knew Luther was gay. If your gaydar was at 0, you were shocked at the news. But most people's gaydar is at least 1. And nobody cared. Nobody cared. Luther sang his face off. Luther did what he promised to do for us. And that was provide us with excellent music. That's all he owed us. That's all he owed us. And not one person said, if I find out he gay, I ain't listening to this. First of all, what would him being gay have to do with your life? What business of yours would that be? How would his sexuality personally affect you? So nobody really cared. We love the music, and consequently, we love the man. And when you watch this documentary, you're going to be floored. It was excellent. It was excellent. I will watch it a second time. So if you haven't seen it, Right now it's on CNN. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's on CNN on demand. I don't know. I think it's going to go to HBO Max. It'll end up on the OWN network at some point. But yeah, it was excellent, and cut Mama LaBelle some slack.